Good morning and welcome to the Early Bird Special for the podcast show with Lacey Go.
What's poppin'? Love and Lacey podcast. We back.
What's good? I'm your boy B, aka B Active.
I am
Lacey.
Lacey from Lacey.
Kalvin with the K. Yeah. Yes. We're back to holler at you guys. You know, talk about a few things. Lacey, what's on your mind?
I think right now what's on my mind is coffee. trying to wakey. So we could give some shout outs to our favorite coffee spots, I think, locally.
Okay. You go first since you brought it up.
One of my favorite, especially for blended drinks, because the consistency is always the same. And if you're a coffee drinker and you know, if you go to like drive-thrus, usually they put too much ice or too little ice, or they don't blend it fully. So I'm gonna say Cutter's Point for sure, especially on the blenders, especially on the blended drinks.
Cutter's is dope.
Yep.
Yeah, Cutter's is like that. When you say they use the ice cream
base
for the blended,
yeah,
so much difference. You can hella tell the difference in a blended drink when they use the ice cream base.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna go with who I went with this morning. The Cafe Elite.
Okay.
Cafe Elite. Yes.
It's good. This is
And they have
20 ounce
too.
Yeah, they do. Their breakfast sandwiches are exquisite,
and
delicious.
they be doing little events sometimes. They did like a drink and paint event a few weeks ago.
Okay.
Yeah, so they do little events and stuff too.
Drink and paint.
Yeah, you could go in and have a drink. They serve beer and wine and stuff too, like inside the little cafe, but the drive-through coffee is obviously.
Yeah,
right,
inside,
right.
She just told me this morning, because I seen like a coffee mug, they got hats. I was like, oh, you guys got merch for sale? They're like, yeah, we got a whole retail shop here on the inside, actually. I'm like, okay, that's what's up. I might have to go give me a hat and come on here sporting it.
Right.
And it really is like in the cut, so it's not even. I started going there because I'm not a huge Dutch Bros fan, and it was across the street from Dutch Bros, and it was like on the way to my job on Marvin Road. Yeah, so it was just there is how I discovered it and started going there. But it is kind of off in the cut. It's next to Les Schwab and House 30 in the Walgreens side of the parking lot.
FYI, if you go to Dutch Bros, right? Tell them it's your birthday, you get a free coffee. They don't even be checking.
Right.
Yeah, my kids told me that. I was like, all right, pulled up on them. I was like, yeah, I went to grab my ID. He's like, no, it's good. I was like, light bulb.
And Dutch Bros also does do like random. One time I went through and they paid for my whole order randomly.
Just because?
Yeah, just because.
Like on the lotto system?
Yeah, they do that. And I was like,
cool.
I thought maybe they were having like a free drink day or something. But my sister was like, no, they just do that randomly. I'm like, oh, that was awesome.
Let me ask you both a question. How do you guys think they decide the random person? Just an idea.
The random person?
Idea.
It's
Well, okay. I guess that makes sense.
Whoever they feel
It's
like.
live.
I'm never gonna live that down, am I?
It was my smile and my cute kids in the back seat. That's why they chose me.
Right.
Ooh, look at this cute kid. Damn, she looked good. Free drink. Too bad I didn't work with the cop. Gave you a $145 ticket for not wearing the seatbelt.
Right.
Priorities.
Yeah. You smiled at him. He was just like,
No, I did it.
I seen you.
I just handed him the stuff. I didn't even look at him. I'm like, here, bitch. Here, sir. Give me. Just take it and go.
I'm gonna have to find that in the edits. Beep it out. Hear that innocent smile.
Do you have a favorite coffee shop?
You know what? I like the bags. To me, it's all the same. But Tiff buys a little Starbucks bags and you take it at home and you put it in a little Keurig cup.
Yeah, we have that system.
I like that. This little Starbucks, it got like the blonde.
I also do too think it's equally. I used to think espresso was like so much different, but really it's all the same.
To me, it's all the same. Sure. I could care less. It doesn't matter. Yeah. Most likely, which one's the cheapest? You know what I mean? To be honest with you.
Yeah.
All coffee makes me tired.
Oh, it does the opposite for you?
Me too. Honestly,
I've had that happen.
I started drinking like 1 cup instead of drinking it throughout the day. And it does help actually to drink a little less, I think. But yeah, coffee doesn't have the same effect. I remember like in my early 20s when I would like go to work and I'd get an espresso, I'd be like shaking off like a couple shots. It's either it's changed and it's, what's it called? You know the word. You know the word. I know you do the word, man.
The cost of leaving?
No. Like the, you know, like the wholesomeness of like the product. What's it called?
The quality of the product?
No, never mind. Just forget it.
It'll come to you when you're not thinking of it.
Yeah.
It's early in the morning. The first thing I thought about when Kalvin was like, man, let's do this thing first thing in the morning on a Saturday, like 6:30. His exact words, I don't care if it's 3 a.m. I'm like, man. Lacey might not be there. She's not a morning person. That was my first thought. Like, that episode.
You know, I have grown better into a morning facilitator, though. I just don't like being up early and all in people's faces, and like I just need my time. I need my time to like debrief myself. I need my time to, you know, wake up and you know, get my day going. I don't want to be all in people's faces at 7 in the morning.
Not me. I'd fucking do a cartwheel right into the bathroom, brush my teeth up, ready to go. Yeah. Be active.
And it's funny is because our son is the same way. Yeah. Our son will wake up and he'll just be on go mode.
Man, that boy will wake up with his face stretched out like.
Yeah.
Good morning, Dad.
And that helps me. That helps me too in the morning though, because I mean, how could you not be happy about that? You wake up to the cutest face ever, just smiling at you like, "Hi, Mom."
Yeah, there'll be a picture in that.
I think.
Oh, there you go.
But my daughter though, and there'll be a picture of edits of this too. She'll be sleeping. She will sleep all day. Yes.
Yeah. She sleep right now. Saturday morning. She'll be asleep till tomorrow.
Yeah.
She'll wake up on Mother's Day. Yeah. and probably just so she can watch herself on the Mother's Day episode that you guys would have seen last week by the time we dropped this.
Speaking of Mother's Day, my kids made me some stuff at school. My son made me. It's a grass pet. So cute.
Oh, okay.
And then I didn't bring the little book over here, but he had made me this book, and it's just super funny. And I love these memories because they're just something you can cherish forever and hold on to till they're like 18 and give it to them. And it's like a question. It was like a book on your mom, and so they have him answer all these questions, and his little answers were so funny. So apparently I'm 60 years old. Okay. And I weigh 99 pounds.
Okay. Our favorite TV show is The News.
Yeah, which I never watched The News, so it's so funny. Like, you're thinking they're logic, right? Like, are they... And then my favorite movie is Ant-Man, so it's like, obviously he's between the mixture of, like, what he likes and what he thinks adults do, because then he's like...
Her favorite dish that she cooks are Hot Pockets.
No, the best thing I cook is Hot Pockets.
Hot Pockets.
I'm like, no, that's your favorite thing to have. That is not the best thing that I make, because I don't make that. I make with that. But it's, again, it's like a kid's perspective, and it's so funny, and it was hilarious to read. I was cracking up, but then he's got this little giggle in the back seat every time I answer something. He's like, like waiting for me. Yeah. Oh, he's just so cute. But anyways, I loved the book. It's like one of the best things ever. I think they should do them every year for mothers and fathers, because those are like the greatest little memories to hold on to for kids. And what another funny thing he said was, something that I say often is go to bed. Like, no, so obviously, like, in his head at nighttime, that's something I'm repetitively like telling him, go to bed, it's bedtime.
When he's not wanting to go to bed.
It's like the world through the filters of the eyes of a 6-year-old.
Yeah, and then my favorite way to relax is sitting on the couch. And I think he might have put one of my favorite things to do is lay in the bed or something, and that's funny
she
too.
She loves her sleep, so he's a little accurate so there.
Funny.
But speaking of prior episodes, I want to do some updates. So my daughter in the Mother's Day special mentioned the ice cream place. She went with her grandma, my mom. Right. It was called Bliss. Bliss is the ice cream spot. It's a little bit up north. I mean, this is Loving Lacey, the podcast show for the 360. But we do get on the I-5 and we go to places.
Surrounding areas.
And we go to Tacoma and we go to Seattle. So it's up north. It's in University Place. And then the name of that ice cream place is Bliss. Also, Catapult is not in Lacey. We had to do our research because my daughter was just putting stuff out there, talking about how she Googled it and it said Lacey, Washington.
Lakewood.
And I was like,
Lakewood, Washington.
I ain't never heard of no catapult in Lacey, Washington. So
I hadn't heard of it either. Yeah,
you got to do some fact checking. She's 8. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to, pardon her on that. But catapult is a fun little zone center for kids. Didn't Season take her kids there?
Yes.
So Season actually had introduced my wife to catapult a little bit ago. I think when my daughter brought it up, I wasn't hip. But yeah, it's in Lakewood, and that's also 20 minutes up the I-5 from the 360. You're venturing into the 253 a little bit, but it's somewhere to take your kids. It's super fun. Obstacles. It's a bunch of stuff to do there.
What they do have in Lacey is Defy, and we did just get them memberships, which were
which she brought up.
Worth it.
She said it gave her heartaches.
And you have to get the membership.
Yeah.
You must get the membership. It literally pays for itself.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna put you on the spot, Lacey.
Hold on, I got one more previous update from a previous episode.
Yes.
Stupid bags. These stupid bags. You understand me? 70 cents. What goes in here?
Right.
One of these?
Right.
And something else?
They're good, bro.
These bags are so... Man, this is COVID, man. Look at it. It even looked like the little COVID thing that they used to put on the news.
Mm-hmm.
What, a virus symbol?
The little virus symbol. Yeah, they're virus. They're sucking all their money out.
They're good, bro.
Like, you want a bag?
They're good.
So, I literally bought that bag yesterday morning for the purposes of showing you guys, bring your own bags to Walmart. All right,
100%.
BYOB.
Tumwater. Yeah, bring your own bags to Walmart. That is not worth 70 cents. It's like I had at least 2 items that the bag didn't even cover up, and So there's the update on that. We will not be purchasing Walmart bags in the future.
No, absolutely not.
And I hope you guys don't either.
I can't believe I was even paying for the little bags they give you now. The ones
the 8 cents.
Yeah, I can't believe I was even doing that. I should have been bringing my own bags. I see like the older ladies in the store.
Yeah.
And they'll come out to get to the thing and they'll.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, they'll have like 4 or 5, 6 of them. I should have been up on game. Oh my goodness.
And that's the thing, we have a million too. I put them in my trunk, but even in my trunk, I still be forgetting, okay? I got kids.
And they're with you too,
their butts in the store, and it's not, forgetting that's how they get you. What were you going to ask me?
Catapult or Defy?
I've never been to Catapult.
Oh, I thought you, okay.
We've only had third-party knowledge from Season, and Aries brought it up. Aries never been there. She was, remember the question in the Mother's Day special with me, you, and Aries was a place you want your mom to take you.
Right.
So another thing that I have that I would like feedback from or comments from the comment section is...
Or lovinglaceypodcast@gmail. You can send any ideas, questions. If you want your business mentioned, you want us to come through and do a podcast at your place of business, hit us up either in the comments on the YouTube or lovinglaceypodcast@gmail.com. Sorry, babe, go ahead.
Which I do have a shout out to Moonchild. It is our friend Heather and Ramos. And I believe they have a co-owner as well, but it is downtown. It's a really cute little strictly secondhand. She let me know if things are worn more than once they don't resell them. Super cute, super trendy little secondhand thrift store for kids downtown. It's called Moonchild. Go there.
It's like right down the street from where I work. Was it like on Franklin or 4th? I think the cross street is 4th.
I'm not sure, but
they got the deals, huh?
I got our son a pair of Jordan 6 rings for $12.50. So I mean, like, come on. And
nice.
Everything was like really decently priced. My daughter got a brand new Barbie in the box for $7.50.
Okay.
Yeah,
man, you
so
beating eBay, you beating OfferUp.
Yeah.
They doing their thing, man. That's what's up. I like that.
And you can check them out on Instagram as well. So what I was gonna ask was, and I guess I'm gonna try to stick to the Lacey area for right now, is where are good places to take your kids swimming and to do swimming activities or water activities around Olympia, Lacey, Tumwater. So I off tops already have a few. But we were discussing earlier, like Long Lake is super convenient, but there's a lot of geese there, and there's a lot of goose poop. And that has happened within the last few years. It didn't used to be that way. And they also often have up a swimmer's hitch sign. There is there's the Nisqually River, I guess.
Okay.
By the freeway, which is really beautiful. There is a new splash park, newer to me because it wasn't there.
On the west side.
Yes, a splash park on the west side. I've never taken them there because it opened when I was gone. But I will be taking them there. There's the fountain downtown, which I think those type of things, the splash park and the fountain, are not going to open until after Memorial Day. Is it Memorial Day?
Yeah.
Okay.
Aries informed us. Our 8-year-old sometimes gives us more updates than
she is
anywhere else.
Yeah.
Aries is what's up. Speaking of which, a little hint, there might be a little kid type show with Aries and someone else doing their little play-in and talking, 8-year-old topics, and she's really interested in doing her own podcast, as you guys seen last week.
Natural,
bro. Her and her big cousin / uncle's vibe was like, it was like they scripted it, and I wasn't around for it.
She might take my job.
You about to lose your job. Lose your job.
B, Lacey, and Aries.
All right, speaking of polls, I like to keep my word, and so I made a couple comments on this Facebook post, and so I screenshot it so I wouldn't forget, and it was, who has the best Thai fried rice in town or close to downtown area? And the Facebook post got a lot of feedback, and so I'm just going to read some of it. Lime Leaf in Lacey was mentioned on there. Okay.
Where's Lime Leaf?
I'm not sure.
Are you hip, Lacey?
No, I'm not a foodie.
Lime Leaf.
So I don't know a lot of.
Lime Leaf in Lacey. Mekong, Mekong. They say that's downtown. That's in Olympia.
Yep. Scroll the comments on the photo.
Yep.
And then we have Pad Thai Express.
Fire.
Is my all-time favorite. But we are going to try NOU Thai tonight to try something new.
Okay.
You should do polls. These are all comments from the Facebook. And then another one, Faux Fusion, number 8, has the best combo fried rice. Shrimp, pork, and Vietnamese sausage, so good.
Okay.
That's what someone else said. And then Jimmy's Thai Restaurant was the best Thai fried rice I ever had, and they closed a few years back. That's sad. All right.
What about the one you have with the bacon down at your job? Remember when you were training for your job?
Oh yeah. I can't remember that.
It was in. I'm pretty sure it was in the food truck area. That
food
truck area
here is
across from the post office. I'm pretty sure, but
another one is Pattaya Thai Express.
Okay.
That comes by way of Jessie Peterson, the homegirl.
She's a foodie and she should know.
She knows.
She knows.
She knows what's going on.
I would do a whole episode with just Jessie. You guys will love her.
Yeah, her taste buds are on
point. She's content all in herself.
And she can cook for real. She's who I always refer to. Or if I see something, I say it to her we gotta make this, Jessie.
Right.
Well, I need you to make this, Jessie.
Basically,
yeah. She's a foodie. We're gonna bring Jessie on here. We might have her cook up some stuff.
Ooh, right here on air.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Let's just do a foodie episode.
Absolutely.
With Jessie. For sure.
Absolutely.
So that's what I got for that.
Hey, I need to add one more.
Absolutely.
I'm shocked. I'm blown away. Community, Isan Zap, right here down the street. Over there by
I don't know why Hawks Ferry got all the spots, man.
Spots, bro. Isan Zap, and they're cool in there. That's really the only Thai place we go. So I could be a bit biased.
What's the difference? What is Thai? Is it the flavor? Because fried rice, I like seasoning.
Okay.
Teriyaki.
Okay.
Fried rice. It also has shrimp, beef, and chicken in it. And
it's fire.
So what's Thai fried rice? What does that mean? Anybody?
You know what? If I told you, I'd be giving you my opinion. Which probably isn't right.
Let's get your opinion.
Honestly, the the culture that cooks it.
True, like Vietnamese fried rice, Thai fried rice, Japanese fried rice, Chinese fried rice.
Yeah, so I guess we need to try.
It's all different.
We're gonna have to start. And speaking of restaurants, or places to eat. Yesterday I went to Uptown Grill, downtown Olympia. Oh my goodness, they were so delicious. Everything everyone got around me looked just so delicious, and they were super reasonably priced. I think everything was like $20 and under, and the portions were huge, and it was delicious. I'm definitely going back to Uptown Grill to try a few other things, and it's right down the street from the job, so we'll definitely do lunch dates there.
Nice. I'm with that.
So good. It was so delicious. And I went into his job afterwards, and I was telling his coworkers they were hungry, and I'm like, I just went, and I told them, and I was saying some of the stuff on the menu, and then one of his coworkers was like, I need to have that blackened salmon avocado sandwich. I gotta go get that now. That's what I have to have now. But.
Nice. So speaking of cooking, since we're still on the topic, I have a very dear friend of mine, Jill of New You Cooking and Consulting.
Okay.
She actually has a cooking class May 27th at 3:30 p.m. I'll throw the flyer up in the edits. You guys will see it come across the screen.
I want to try some of her food, actually. I've been meaning to
she's been
message
cooking
her.
for years.
Because I see it, and it's stuff that I love vegetables. It doesn't matter what kind of I love vegetables and potatoes and just all of that stuff, and then with your protein. And I've been meaning to ask her, like, hey, you want to bring us some stuff so we can try it?
I mean, when the money gets right, obviously I would order some of her. She does meal prep.
Right.
For you guys that don't know, New You Cooking and Consulting. Not only does she do meal prep, she actually does the consulting. She has clients that she cooks hands-on with and does their meal preps for. And go to her page. That stuff's delicious. I have tasted some of her stuff. It's bomb.
Is it the way it sounds?
It's napalm.
Is it the way like NEWYOU?
No,
NUYOU. New You Cooking and Consulting. And it's on Facebook. She has an IG page. She has a Facebook page. They do. She'll be on the episode, and then I'll have her do her whole spread. Maybe we'll just do a show in her kitchen. You know what I mean? Like we have plans in the future. Some already locked in. Like we're going to do an episode.
Interviews. So we can just go around with our mics around.
Right.
Barbershop talks. We have a specific barber in mind. I'm not going to say his name right now. It's going to be a surprise.
Right. Yeah.
But
this is going to be a big one.
But I'm having a bad beard day right now. I wish he was here to fly me up. But we're going to do an episode with him. Probably cutting me and Cal. If we have time for the whole episode to get 2 cuts in. He might be one of those lengthy barbers, but it's all good. He's dope. He'll be on the show.
Round of applause.
And then we have another future outing planned at Bulldog Tattoo, one of my favorite tattoo artists. He's actually done a lot of my work. He recently did my wife's name on my neck for Valentine's Day, and he's agreed to let us come out there while he tats up one or more of us, or maybe a couple of the guys in the shop are tatting us, and we're going to do our podcast during that and just kind of kick it and pop it while we're getting tatted up. And we got stuff planned like that, so look forward to that coming in the future.
Be cool like that.
Yeah. All in Lacey though. You feel me? Oli, Tumwater.
I don't have any tattoos, man.
Cal's getting tatted at Bulldog Tattoo on that episode.
What would you get?
You might as well get the logo now.
I know what he would get.
Might as well get the logo.
I know what you would get. He would get Mom.
Mama Drill.
If I did get something,
he would get Mama Drill.
It would be something like that.
With his mama's portrait and an army outfit.
If I did get tattooed, it would be something like that.
With all the stripes.
It would be something like that, man. Yeah.
Doing a salute.
I've got a whole
represent.
I respect my mom so much.
I respect your mama.
Yeah.
I'm about to just start getting like 2 tattoos a month until I get everything I want.
Well, the first 2 she gets will be on the episode. That I promise.
You don't have any tattoos?
I have some.
She has some, but the first 2.
Me and my sisters have
starting
matching
on her
tattoos.
new
Me and all my
stuff.
sisters got sisters. It's like a flower at the top, and then it says sisters as the stem on our left lower ankle areas. So we have all those matching, and then I have Bilal's name right here. And I have Heaven Sent was my first tattoo I ever got on my foot. And then...
Nice.
Yeah. But I want to get like a sleeve.
Right.
But I'm torn in between like the meaningful, like do I want to get a bunch of like meaningful stuff, or do I just want to get like pretty stuff and dainty stuff, because I like both. So I'm going to do both. I'm just going to there's going to be a lot of like I want a lot of little random dainty things.
Okay.
I like little random shoulder placements and collarbone things and little fingers and, you know. So I'm going to get a lot of little dainty randoms, but I'm going to also get a couple of meaningful things that I have in mind for the kids and just growth and like recovery and stuff like that. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Growth and recovery. Man.
Easier.
Mofos came a long way, man.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Okay.
Well, let's talk about it, man.
Came a long way.
Let's talk about it, man. We're gonna talk a little bit about recovery. We are all peers. Tell us a little bit about your journey, man.
Man, listen, man. I was the most burnt out of the burnt out. Burning all of my relationships. My priorities were backwards. I mean, it's the same old story for everyone, really. And just a few things to make it mine and hers to make hers. But, you know, I was able to get back. And it's weird. It's weird. One day, after not being able to do this for years, one day I said, I don't want to do this anymore. And I haven't done it since, man.
You know, speaking of which, I want to give a shout out to a personal friend of mine, Jeremy Suggs. All right, he's a life coach. We were in a program together for recovery, a long-term therapeutic program. But he said to me one time that when he decided he was done, he called it his aha moment.
Right.
And I believe that's what it is. For me, I call it the moment of internal evolution.
Right.
Right. So when you reach that level and you have an internal moment of evolving into something new, there's no going back. Like your brain rewires, not back, but better than it was when you were stuck in that revolving cycle of addiction. Right. And so when that eternal evolution kicks in and you come out a new person, there's no going back. There's just no going back. So
mentally you can't. Right?
Now I have a question for you. This might cause a little bit of controversy.
Sure.
It might not. Do you consider yourself A, an addict, B, in recovery, and or C, recovered?
I'm gonna start at the end first. I don't think I'll ever be recovered. This is my personal take. I think the drugs nowadays, whether you're an addict or not, if anyone were to take these drugs, they would become addicted. They're so strong, they're so powerful. Elon Musk, the smartest people in the world, he would be addicted. So
I've interjection on that, right?
Talk to me.
So during one of my trainings and in one of my classes, I was made aware of the difference between chemically dependent and being an addict.
Okay.
Right? Anybody is 100% capable of becoming chemically dependent. For example, you get in a car wreck, you break something, they prescribe you an opiate, right? No matter what, the chemical components of that opiate over time is going to make you chemically dependent on them, right? But an addict is something different. An addict is supposedly, and this is how it was explained to me, this is in my opinion.
Oh, give the game.
So an addict is the mental process of adapting the behavior of not being able to quit once you're done with your prescription. Okay. So the chemical itself on a scientific level can make anyone dependent because those are the components of certain opiates that they give us.
That's how they're designed.
You will have a physical dependency. That's chemical dependency. But addiction is wholly and entirely different. They say addiction is, in some cases, hereditary, right? Right. So you might already be predisposed to addiction because your mom or your dad was an addict, right? But 100% of human beings are capable of being chemically dependent. Right. But only a small percent, they say, are predisposed to becoming addicts. How do you feel about that?
Damn. I think that makes a lot of sense. I think it's true. And I would say I was clearly both. Chemically dependent and a full-blown addict. 100%. You know?
What would you say the foundation of your recovery is?
The foundation is to want more from life.
Absolutely.
To want to do something. I really feel like I can do anything if I want to do it. I really feel that way about myself. And I was just wasting my potential, man.
Yeah, there really are different types of addicts, too. There are addicts that will lose everything about themselves and do things that they just careless to anybody and everybody. And then there's addicts that only harm themselves, like, intentionally. So it's, yes, they might be harming their family members or their loved ones, like, in the emotional aspect of things, but they're not intentionally stealing from their family. And you know what I mean? There's different levels to addicts, and there's different levels to what type of addicts there are.
Okay, hold on real quick, babe. I just want to say that with the word addicts, it's because of the job I'm in, it strikes me a certain way. Is we try not to use that term in the field I'm in.
What do you
mean? We say like people experiencing substance use disorder or people experiencing addiction, because an addict is a stigmatized label and it comes with negative intonation. So it falls under the trauma-informed training. That if you don't have it, it's just something that when you become aware of it, it's hard to go back. Like when I hear addict, I'm like, oh, it resonates with me now because I've had hundreds of hours of training.
Yeah, right. A lot of things on these topics, unless you're actually in those types of trainings or explained fully, or you actually look into them, things will start to become clearer and the picture will become larger for you vastly if you do not understand anything about it. Also, I think in answer of some of your questions, because you had asked me this before, I do not view myself as an addict. I consider myself recovering 100%. I don't think about it. I don't want to do it. I would never go back. It would solely be a choice at this point. Why would I do that? I never loved doing it. I've sat in several NA meetings and people out, I love heroin, I love meth, I love alcohol. I would never say those words. Would never.
You were never in love with it?
No. I tripped and fell into my addiction. It was like a social thing at the time and a point in my life where it just slowly came in, slowly for real. And then it became the chemical dependency. And that is no joke. So I also feel like that what he brought up with the chemical dependency and that I don't know how I feel about that, because I feel like that coincides. Like, you are chemically dependent, which makes you become an addict, because that took anyone that knows that has been on an opiate, it is deathly sickening.
It's pretty bad.
Feeling and you feel like you have no control. So
and that's the chemical dependency. But that can happen to 100%.
But you're saying,
that's what I was saying.
But they're saying if you continue to do it and don't just quit right then. And what I'm saying is, in those moments of that feeling, a lot of people. I mean, I am a strong-minded individual, and for me to try to outmind what my body was going through in those times, it was pretty much impossible. I mean,
I hear you. I'm
not going to say that I had several tries and attempts, because did I actually try to actually quit when I really was saying I was going to quit? Not fully, but I think, I don't know, we could go back and forth on this topic for forever, because there's so many opinions and there's so many. But I think for me, for the questions, is that he had asked me the other day, do I consider myself an addict, or so if someone was referring to me, or if I was referring to myself, would I let them refer to me, right? Wasn't that?
Basically, I asked her the other day, is because we have our past and these labels, and as I'm learning about these labels, it's we have gender pronoun training, and so now I'm sensitive to finding out what somebody is, their preference in being addressed. So the same thing to me applies to am I okay if you refer to me as a felon? Absolutely not. That's not who I am. That was a thing that happened. Am I okay identifying as an addict. No, I'm not. And that's what I asked my wife.
And it's not because I'm not like, it's not because I'm ashamed of where I come from or like what area in my life, right, that I had happen. It's because it does not define me and who I am today. And there's such a stigma on that word that people will certainly give you a different they'll have a different perspective of you if you give yourself as,
okay,
I'm an addict.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Lacey, and I was an addict here. Then if, you can just go into a job and have it, and then later on when you're comfortable, you can discuss with someone like, hey, so yeah, I used to do drugs. Like, it's different. It's different to say. It's not that I'm ashamed or that I don't own or claim what I've been through or what I did. It's just that it does not define me.
Yes.
Exactly. And saying something you used to do and identifying with it as a part of your identity is two entirely different things.
Yeah.
I built houses for 2 years. I'm not a framer.
Right.
I've worked on cars before. I have a certificate. I'm not a mechanic.
Right.
But if necessary and I was stranded and stuck, I could get under the hood and get to where I need to go. Right. But I will take my car to a mechanic as long as it's convenient and I'm not stuck in a position where I have to work on the car myself. Me and you together, we did Red Line. We did banquets. We were essentially, waiters. I'm not a waiter.
Job, by the way.
I'm not a waiter. You know what I mean? I do identify as an artist. I'm continually doing music. Even this is our artwork to me.
It is.
Artist is something I would identify with. You can call me Be Active the rap artist, Be Active the artist, Be Active the public figure. I can identify with those things because that's my choice.
I identify as being awesome.
I identify as being married to awesome.
And I identify as a mother.
My pronoun is awesome. Just call me that.
Awesome mother.
Hey, Lacey, I must say, for me personally, that was one of my greatest relationships.
Yeah.
The drugs. Like, in all my relationships in my life, that was, if I'm being honest, that was one of my greatest relationships.
See,
I loved that.
And
that's why I was shocked. I was shocked when I assumed.
I always hated it. It was not for me. It was not who I was. Something I always struggled in when I was in recovery and like trying to explain things to counselors or in any meetings and open up was that I did not have a traumatizing child. Like, not that this defines, but for a vast majority of people addicted, it's from a trauma that started it or something in their childhood that clicked it on or something. That did not happen to me. Yeah. I was 23 when I first even tried a pill. So like in high school, my friends were doing, Adderall and Coke and stuff like that. I never, ever, ever tried it. Ever. The only thing I ever did in high school was smoke weed and drink. And I barely smoked weed because I can't handle it. But, so for me, it was very different. It was not a tragic situation or a traumatic situation. It just, like I said, it came at a time where I was like, it was the social crowd around, and it was fast money at first. That's all it was. And then it became like, oh, I'm bored, and they're all doing it, and I need someone to hang out with, and let me go. Okay, I'm drinking. Let me go have a line of a pill or whatever. Just try it. And so that's how it became about. So once I became chemically dependent, and I was like, this is crazy, and it was just there. I was in it, but I hated it. I hated it. It was not me. I hated who I became. Like, I was a professional. I had all my own stuff. You know what I mean? So it was not like something I started in my childhood or that stemmed from something traumatic. This was later in my early adulthood, out of nowhere kind of, and it wasn't for me. It wasn't who I am.
Well, you're what I'm hearing is it was subtle. It crept up on you.
Yeah.
It wasn't something that was like dominating your life at first. It wasn't dominating your decisions, but...
And then it became the lifestyle.
Yeah.
It became the lifestyle. Yeah.
So, and what's crazy about those is once you pop, you can't stop.
But also, like, I just think
keeps going.
There are certain people, though, that I see, I've been around so many people and different people in addiction that I can spot the difference in people who have bigger things for them or
Okay.
are truly not addicts. I can tell. You know, you can tell in what they do and how they act and how they are. I would say I've always said that you're extremely smart, and I always felt that you, like me, it was not something, I didn't know it was something you loved or had a relationship.
Oh my goodness.
On the outside, I always thought, like, he doesn't want this, because I remember sitting with you so many times and you just did not seem fulfilled. I mean, you were always like a happy person. You always had a smile on your face and a jokester, but I could see like that. What I saw for me was that you had something deeper and more, and you're always super smart, super well spoken, super mannered. You always spoke highly of your mom, like the same stuff you do now, only in your addiction. And so I felt like you, like me, it wasn't something you knew, like that wasn't your all.
I did know that.
Yeah,
I did know that.
See, and so for me, I think my addiction was worse in a lot of ways, yet more subtle, because I didn't do hard drugs. So in my mind, there was no addiction. There was no pull. You know, I was the guy everyone came to or put people on and this and that. But my addiction was more subtle because I couldn't see it. I couldn't identify with it because in my mind, I was the plug. I was the guy who stayed away from the pills and the opiates and this and that. But Molly came around, I was popping that shit in secret.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And then, you know, with the weed, there was times where I'd wake up, if I couldn't find a blunt, if I couldn't find a piece of something, like I would panic because the weed stores didn't open until like 10 in the morning and I'm up at 8. And so that's a real addiction. And people say, oh, marijuana's not an addiction. Whatever.
Yes,
it changed my mood.
It's
all the different things 100%. In the DSM-5 that define what addiction is, I experienced from lack of having marijuana in times where I was smoking whole backwood packs full of blunts daily. Like every minute that wasn't consumed with my hands were doing something, I had a blunt in it. You know, and if any of you guys was hip to prior to when I left and I was doing music videos and going to California and going to Vegas and going live all the time, and we did a reality show, even in the reality show, I got a blunt in my mouth. You know what I mean? In my videos, I got a blunt in my mouth. And so by not being able to identify with that as me struggling with an addiction, it made it harder for me to come to grips with it. It took a couple of years. Because for some reason,
it's so much more socially accepted. And I've always said...
Well, I mean, it's legal. It's legal on a state level. It's just not legal on a federal level. I watched my dad smoke weed my whole life and have to hide it back then because it wasn't legal, you know. And to me, it's a full-out addiction. You guys act like you can't function without it. You guys, like you said, you're in bad moods when you don't have it. It changes your mind.
Changes your mind.
It's an addiction. Okay? Look at all the people in the world and look at how many people smoke weed and have smoked weed for so long. It's addiction, just like cigarettes. Cigarettes are socially acceptable. It's still an addiction.
Working so is alcohol. Alcohol is legal, and it's one of the most pervasive substances that we have, and it's everywhere socially.
I saw some studies, and I don't know, they were not in the U.S. I'm pretty sure they were in like a different country or something, where they made drugs legal, and I
think Amsterdam or something. Yeah, Amsterdam is
and it was called like the hamster experience, right? Or something like that.
I don't know what it's called officially, but I know Amsterdam.
It was to get the crime rates down.
And it worked.
And it worked.
Because people become addicted and they'll do whatever to get the drug and to get the money to get the drug. But if the drug was more accessible and it was, I guess, cheaper because it would be more accessible, right? So then the crime rates would drop significantly, and it wouldn't be, you know, and in my opinion, if someone's gonna do a drug, just like I don't believe someone should go to jail for doing a drug because they chose to buy it. It's not like they're being forced and they're being drugged. They're choosing to buy it and choosing to do it and put it in their body. So at what point is that legally acceptable, constitutionally acceptable, you know, to
incarcerate
someone for doing something to their own body? Like, that doesn't even make sense. So again, this is a topic we will continuously
and I have a very specific, this actually hit the email, and we had actually talked about this before. However, I'm going to refrain from any of us making any opinions on the matter, but the topic is for the viewers. You can drop whatever comments you want. in the on the YouTube channel or however. But the topic was Washington is supposedly in the process of passing a law or have passed a law that basically would allow CPS to take your child from you if you refuse to let that child do a
gender sex change.
A gender sex change.
Yeah.
They would somehow consider that legal reasons for CPS to step in and remove your child from your home. And the person in the email, their only example was, how is that right if a child has to be 18 or have a parent's
consent until they're 18.
To get a tattoo?
They can't buy cigarettes. They can't gamble. They can't buy alcohol. They cannot make decisions. You still have to have a parent guardian signature to do anything. Doctor's appointments, doctor's notes, school notes. Everything. So how is that right? Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah. So get in the comments if you have any opinion on that, and on the following episode, we'll go through some of those comments. And like I said, we're going to refrain from making any controversial, stand. I don't have a stand on it. I'm not going to put us in that category to be attacked for any type of opinion one way or the other. I'm going to stay neutral in this situation. I just want to give it back to you guys, and I'll just read what the comments say next week on the next episode.
Yeah, or we can do like comment-based episodes too, where people, like you said, want to send in the emails and stuff. We can just go through those and make that episode.
And we're new. This is our 4th episode, so we'll get to that. We'll do live shows. We'll do shows where you can be more interactive. We actually have a team meeting coming up here next week to kind of guide us in that direction to help with our content and our moving forward with Love and Lacey, the podcast show for the 360. 360.
Somehow, some way.
Okay, so on a lighter note, what are you guys doing to get ready for summer?
What are we doing for summer?
What are you doing to get prepared for summer? Because this heat wave is...
I mean, we already had to go to my brother's and get one of my old AC units he had in storage for me.
For real.
Babe ordered a pool with a ladder.
The kids don't know yet.
Oh, shit.
Well, one of them might have just heard.
Surprise.
So, yeah. We got that. We got...
patio set furniture coming.
Yeah, it's going down over here, huh?
Little mat. We got all the stuff. We got the fans. We got the AC unit. I took down the Christmas decorations.
Yeah, because we do have a heat wave. We actually had a heat wave warning for Washington. So
is it supposed to get real hot?
I mean, it's supposed to be in the 90s all week. That will make it,
real hot.
And it's not even summer; it's just May.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is what everyone's been asking for.
Mm-hmm.
I wish the sun would come out. Well, it's here.
According to you, this is what everyone's been asking for too. And you know what? So the other day, when you said your employee had said to you, and it made you feel good because they were like, "Oh, I can't wait for the Mother's Day episode."
Yeah.
That same day, we went and got gas at Chevron. I walked in there and there was three guys. A Samoan dude, a black dude, and an Asian dude, and they were all with a truck company. And I walked in, the Chevron dude's like, "Hey, Blau, I never met this dude in my life." And I looked, he's like, "Oh, man, I'll be watching all your stuff on Facebook, man. I can't wait for the next episode to drop." Man, that's what's up. No way. Man. Straight up, man. That's what's up. I really, really appreciate the support that you guys are showing us. I know this is a brand new thing, but as you can see, we're on top of it. The content's only going to get better. The scenery is going to get better.
Right.
How we move, how we sound, how things are produced are only going to get better. Shout out to my man, Jay Rush, a.k.a. The Cheat Code.
Cheat Code.
He's back on production.
Yeah.
We're back a team. We're doing what we got to do. Shout out to Caleb Tucker. He was supposed to be here this morning, but he had to take his son to a basketball game, so he couldn't jump in on this episode. He'll be on the next one. Shout out to #SoLacey, City Wilson. He confirmed he's down to do an episode. Like, how could you do an episode without So Lacey? Like, that makes no sense. This is Love and Lacey. So we're gonna have City Wilson on here in the next couple of episodes. Yeah, we got a lot coming in the future, and man, we just hope y'all stick around. It's going to be fun. We're going to cover good topics. We'll get serious. We still got to get into, our relationship topics, parenting, just whatever. And whatever comments come in, I'm personally monitoring Loving Lacey Podcast at gmail.com. They come to my phone. So if you put something in, you know for a fact, you have my word. Be active. We'll read it. And 9 times out of 10, if it isn't something like, that goes against the regulations of YouTube or is just super disrespectful, it'll end up on the show. Straight up. And, all you subscribers, there's 68 of you right now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Like,
truly, yeah.
That's what's up. Like, it's only gonna grow. And if you subscribe early on, you might want to drop something in the Gmail now. First 100 subscribers, I don't know yet, but we're gonna do something for y'all. So make sure you drop your name, because I can't see who the subscribers are on the YouTube. I can only see how many. So if you want to be recognized as a subscriber, drop something in the Gmail and just say, hey, I subscribed.
Yeah.
And when we get merch and stuff like that, you might get a free shirt in the mail or anything. We'll figure it out. We'll get there, and we're just trying to move forward. Shout out Gutta Mang. You're gonna see him dropping some positive hip hop news at the end of this segment. He's sending me clips as promised. Gutta Mang is an integral part now of Love and Lacey podcast show for the 360.
Oh, I know what I want people to email. Is like salons around here that are good for eyebrow tattooing.
Ooh.
A good eyebrow
Beauty is so big.
Salon
There's so much
locally.
Right.
Also, who your favorite lash installer might be, or your favorite
Okay,
Botox
ladies.
place,
The wife is speaking.
or your favorite
Right.
hairstyling place, because there's so many.
There are a lot.
Yeah, and we'll be talking a little. If you guys have those comments in before the next episodes, we'll include that in the barbershop episode. When we got our special guest barber cutting our hair, we'll be talking about your salons and tattoo artists for face makeup and all those different things. So
It's a wrap.
it's been live. I gotta go to work, y'all.
Cut it.
Love and Lacey, the podcast show for the 360. I'm B, aka Be Active. Lacey from Lacey. Cal from Cal.
Oh, Cal from Cal. Thank you guys so much for your support.
Did you know Kanye West originally produced and wrote his 2005 hit Gold Digger?
Now I ain't saying she a gold digger, but she ain't messing with no broke.
For Shauna. Kanye wrote the hook from a female's perspective, and the song was meant for Shauna's 2004 debut album, Worth the Wait. Shauna passed on the song, and Kanye rewrote the hook to fit a male's perspective and feature Jamie Foxx on it. Gold Digger gave Kanye his second #1 single and one of his biggest hits ever. Yes, Lord. Serving it raw.
Let it rain on me, let it drench my clothes. Let it rain on me, let it cleanse my soul. Let it rain on me in the 360. Let